So, how is everyone? So, I was teaching in my good friend Ruth's program yesterday, and what I was teaching was how to what the things are that have to happen in order for your clients to say yes to you. So, what has to happen in the sales process in order for you to be able to get your client to a yes that feels really good? So, I was teaching this and I thought this would be a really good thing to teach you. So I'm going to teach you too. So it was a really fun session. Really enjoyed it. It went over really well, and I think it was kind of said in a different way that really resonated. So I wanted to share it with you in case you are having any problem with your sales right now. If you're having lots of sales conversations, or if you're having a lot of objections that you can't work your way through and you can't help your clients through, or indeed if you are not getting any sales calls. So if this will be super helpful if you're not getting sales calls and you need to fix that, or if you are having sales calls but you're not getting people to say yes. So if that's happening for you, this will help. So what I was teaching is there are three things that have to happen in your client's mind and body for them to be able to be open enough to have the conversation and to get to a yes, to want to do the work. And those three things are: they have to feel certainty, they have to feel certainty in you and in themselves, they have to trust in the way it's going to happen, they have to trust that they can do it, they have to trust you, and they need to feel safety. They need to feel safety from you. You need to help them create a sense of safety. If you don't have these three things, and if you're not communicating these three things in your content, in your marketing before you have the call, and if you're not communicating them on the call, then it's really difficult for your clients to be in a place where they can say yes, even though they're on a sales call with you, which shows you they want to be a yes. And this is something that I coach my clients on all the time, because when clients book a sales call with you, it's them putting their hand up and saying, I want this. So often we can forget this and make drama where there's no drama. Your clients want to buy, they're booking a sales call, all signs are pointing in the direction of they want it. So just have the thought, they want it, they want to be a yes. It will help you so much. But how can you create certainty, trust, and safety for your clients? So this is interesting, because as I was working through this content and deciding how to teach it, what creates certainty for your clients is the thoughts that they have. You can't create it for them, but you can help them to have thoughts for themselves that makes them feel certain, that makes them feel trusting, that makes them feel safe. It's all from their thoughts that they're thinking about you, their thoughts that they have about your service and how it's going to work, their thoughts about the process and seeing themselves do the process. So as I was thinking about this, but what does that even mean? How can you, as a salesperson, as the service provider, help them have those thoughts that create certainty? So the first thing that came up for me was having certainty in yourself. Like, what does that feel like? As the person who is running the sales call, if you don't have certainty in your ability to deliver, if you don't have certainty in yourself, if you don't have certainty that your client's going to be able to do it, you can't create that certainty for them. You can't generate thoughts in your own mind that make you show up in a really clear, really confident, really helpful manner for your client. That's going to be really clouded. It's going to be like little bits of doubt and insecurity slipping in. And when there's doubt and insecurity slipping in, your client will feel it. It will just change what you say, and it will change the way that you say it, and your clients can feel it. So the way that you can help your clients to feel these things is firstly feeling it in yourself. feeling trust in yourself, feeling that, and this can look like feeling like no matter what they say, I'm going to be fine. That's really important. I was just teaching on a webinar about how to sell with confidence, and really the only way that you can have a sales conversation with confidence is by being okay if they say no. What creates weirdness and fear is worrying that they're going to say no and not being okay if they say no. So when you're okay with them saying no, it doesn't create any fear, it doesn't create any drama for you. So that's the first thing. You can trust yourself to be okay, regardless of whether they're a yes or whether they're a no. And weirdly, you doing that makes them more likely to be a yes, because they want to be a yes. That's why they came on the call. So when you can just relax into it and know that either way, you're going to be fine, they're going to be fine. It's not a big deal. Like, remove the pressure, remove the anxiety, remove the stress. It makes it so much easier. It makes it so much lighter and more enjoyable for you to sell. So how do you create safety for yourself as well? And it does come back to looking at how you feel when someone says no. Do you fear rejection? What does it bring up for you when somebody has a thought about you and about your offer and about whether it's right for them or wrong for them? What does that trigger in you? This could be a really good journaling prompt. I'm not expecting you to like immediately know this. It might just take a little bit of digging to be like, why am I scared to hear no? Like, what comes up for you? And it's going to be different for everybody. But what is the thing you're basically trying to avoid by getting them to a yes, essentially? What are you scared of if they say no? What is that thing that you're avoiding feeling? It's really good to understand that, because when you can understand that and be like, oh, it's fear of rejection, because that makes me feel something, that makes me feel rejected personally, and that brings up lots of shame, or it brings up disappointment. When you can be really clear and put your finger on what you are avoiding, so why you're putting pressure on yourself, maybe pressure on them to say yes, you can just have awareness of it and just be conscious of it and be like, oh, how would it be okay? How would I still be safe and still be fine if they said no? What stuff do I need to clear up for me first so that that's not a problem? And then how do you create certainty in your results and how you help your clients? That comes through being willing to take people through a process time and time again, and for maybe the process not to work very well. That's just the case of like being willing to change stuff, being willing to try things, and for it not to be great. And that's okay. Like, you're allowed to be human. You're allowed to, for that not to be a problem. That's okay. Just like full transparency up front is always the way forwards. Full transparency with new clients, like, this is a new process. I am like 80% sure that this is the process, but there is going to be wiggle room. I want you to know that. I want you to know exactly what you're signing up for before you pay me money. Like, all of that stuff can create the certainty. It creates trust. Again, it creates trust in yourself that you know what you're doing, because you've been through the process, you've taken people through, and you can see what helps them get results, and you can see where people don't get results, and you can refine it and get better. So for your clients to feel those three things, you have to feel these three things. So ask yourself, what thoughts can I think that help me feel certain, that help me feel trusting, and that help me feel safe? So before any sales conversation, what can you think that creates that sense of certainty? Might be worth just spending 10-15 minutes before any sales conversation writing down a list of these thoughts that you want to encourage, thoughts you want to practice, thoughts you want to inhabit. So having said that, those are the three things. And then secondly, I wanted to address how you can only invite your best clients in to work with you, and that process. So you've probably done a ton of work on your avatar, on your ideal client. You know, it's something that people teach a lot, and That's all good, because you have to know who you're speaking to, of course. You know, you have to know what your niche is, you have to know what the problem is, all of those things. The way I think about my very best client is it's a set of personality traits and a set of common, like shared attributes that they all have. It's less about their age or their income or their goal, and it's more about like a state of mind that they have or a personality trait. So what is your best client? If you think about the people who've gotten the most amazing results working with you, are there three things that they all have in common? For example, are they all really open-minded? Are they all purpose-driven? Are they all responsible? Like, are they resourceful? Are they really committed? What is it for your clients that makes them the best clients? And we're going to take it as, you know, take it for granted that they have money, that they have the problem you solve, and they're willing to pay for it. That's just a given in this scenario, that you've already like figured out those things, that, you know, you have a pool of qualified people, but what makes them your best? From the qualified people that you could help, the ones that have money, that are willing to pay you money, that have the problem you solve, what makes them the most ideal? What makes the very best people? And then just think about those three attributes and how you can establish that, how you can speak to that, how someone who behaves that way will be thinking, right? If my clients are resourceful, what will they be thinking? If my clients are committed, what's the problem that they're having? And what, like, how does that show up for them? If they are ambitious, what are they thinking? It's all about putting yourself in your client's shoes so firmly that when you write content, you're like, oh, I know this will help them. I know this will help them because they're ambitious, because they're resourceful, because they're committed. This will appeal. And that is like next level marketing mastery, because once you can speak to that very specific best client, you're going to have such better conversations. They will have better and fewer objections. So you're not going to be dealing with the usual surface level objections. You're just going to get a better kind of quality of objection, essentially. They're going to be seriously considering working with you and saying yes before they get on the call. They may not have objections when they're on the call because you've already like spoken to that so well that they don't have any concerns, and they will get the best results when they work with you. So it's a win-win all around. The last thing I wanted to mention on this is think about that best client. So when you've already figured out those three personality traits, what is that person most concerned about when it comes to buying from you? What is their top worry? What's the thing that's standing in their way? What is their reason to not buy? When you can understand that, that is everything, because then you speak to that in all your content, you mention that in your marketing, you knock down all the objections or all their top worries, you can address their main concerns, and you can provide a solution for it. And when you do that, whether it's in a sales call or in your content, you will find yourself having conversations that are much easier, much quicker, because people have already made the decision that they want to do it and they're just working out the finer details. And this is the level that you'll get to when you can go off of that basis of the certainty, the trust and the safety. Then you can take it to the next level and start calling in the best clients. Okay, that's what I have for you today. If you want some help with this and you have any questions around this and you want my eyes and my brain on your business and what's happening now, how it's happening, why you have the results that you have now, and what you need to do to change them, please book a free consultation, because this is what I do. I want to help you within this hour-long call, map out everything. We'll like get everything on the table. I'll see what's going on now and why you have the results you have now, and show you what's creating it. So often we're just working in like blinders. We can't see what we can't see because we're inside it. It's really hard to get perspective and get a view. So if you want my perspective and you want my outside eyes to show you what's happening and why that's happening, and then figure out the path to getting new results, then book a call, because I would love to help you. Okay, see you soon. Bye.